Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Longlegs. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, this movie has very good reviews. It has an 87% critic score. Can't say anything bad about that. Its audience score is not that. It's a 68, which is very much not good, and its cinema score is a C plus. And for horror, a C plus, that's about average for like horror movies on cinema score because they get kind of a bad rap on there. That 68% audience score, I'll go over that later when we get to the cons, but that 87% critic score, that's obviously got to be a pro. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, okay. This Osgood Perkins. Who is that? I've never heard of this guy before. Oz Perkins. What has he made? Not a whole lot for what I see. So can't really talk about him too much. Who else can I talk about? Micah Monroe. Who is the? Ugh, don't look like a great selection of movies. Independence Day Resurgence. Who remembers that? Honestly, who? Not me. I never watched it. I don't even know what happened. I have no clue what happens in that movie. The Fifth Wave, like no one cares about that movie either. Like, gosh, just like a bunch of forgotten 2016 movies. Nothing really to say about Michael Monroe, but there's a lot to say about Nicolas Cage. So let's talk about him. Nicolas Cage. Nick Cage. This man has done a lot, to say the least. I mean, in the 90s, he was like big, leaving Las Vegas. He won an Oscar. People tend to forget that. Nicolas Cage is an Academy Award winning actor. It's very easy to forget, but that did in fact happen. It's like that. Then he has like 90s movies like The Rock, not related to Dwayne Johnson. He wasn't even like a star yet at that point, not even in wrestling. Stuff like The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, to a lesser extent like Snake Eyes and City of Angels. It's Gone 60 Seconds. And then he had like a big hit in the 2000s with like The National Treasure and its sequel, National Treasure Book of Secrets. Ghost Rider did all right, even though it wasn't a very good movie. Then after that, there's a whole lot of bleh. With some good movies in there, like Kick Ass. That's a cult classic. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just not good or just did really bad in theaters. Oh, Wicker Man, though, that's a classic for all the wrong reasons. Oh, Grindhouse. Well, he wasn't in Grindhouse specifically, like in Planet Terror or Death Proof, but he was in one of the fake trailers. He was a Fu Manchu, which definitely would not be allowed now. I'll tell you that. I think we're kind of going a little too. When you see it, you'll be like, yeah, no. So let's just move on from that. Yeah, in the 2010s, a good amount of the 2010s, released a whole. He was in an endless amount of direct-to-DVD movies. Not too many theatrical releases or like big theatrical releases. So we just keep going. He voiced Spider-Man Noir, Spider Noir in Into the Spider-Verse, so that was neat, real neat. A lot of just like voiceover role or just like really really small movies. Pig is kind of important because the guy who made Pig ended up making A Quiet Place Day One, which has turned out to be a pretty decent hit. What else do we got? Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. No one saw this movie. It sucks, but I kind of understand why, because it was very much like you kind of had to be like a real Nicolas Cage fan to like really like give a shit about it, and it kind of leaned a little bit more towards like the, I guess, the internet crowd than like the mainstream crowd, and that could really kill a movie. So yeah, then there was Renfield last year, which part of me thought could be a hit because you have Nicolas Cage as Dracula. I mean, that sounds kind of awesome, but no one gave a damn about the movie. So yeah, that sucks. But Nicolas Cage, everyone knows about Nicolas Cage. You know, mainly either through his movies or memes, whatever. Everyone knows about Nicolas Cage, and this one, he's a serial killer, so it's a nice change of pace. So yeah, Nicolas Cage. I guess his presence might help the movie. Would help the movie just a little bit. So that's a pro, I guess. Another pro. It's preview numbers. $3 million. Like that's not the top preview numbers I would expect for a movie like this. I thought it had like you'd think it had like 1 million at best, but 3 million. That's that's a that's quite a lot for a movie coming from like Neon. Neon is not a big studio in the slightest. So preview numbers like these are phenomenal. That's probably more than what I thought it would have made opening weekend, honestly. So yeah, for what this is, incredible preview numbers. So that's a pro. And I thought, all right, it's time to go over cons. Okay, let's look over that 68% audience scores because that tells me word of mouth is not great with this movie. It's kind of divided. So let me see. We got a 1 star. This is the first review I see. 1 star. Cliches, boring characters, not even in the same category as Silence of the Lambs. Insulting to compare the two. I left before the movie was finished. Depressing, not scary. Then we got a 5 star review. Such a great movie. Had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. So, yeah. Uh, got 3 stars. Mikey, I cannot pronounce her name. Makia Monroe was great. Storyline felt like it lacked a focus, and I wanted to be more scared. This movie was not scary. We laughed more than I was scared. Huge disappointment from the build-up and advertising. Should have known better. I feel very duped. Okay, we got a 1/2 star. This is all damn. This is a whole paragraph. Let's read it. I wish I could get those 2 hours back. It wasn't scary. It wasn't creepy. It's one of those train wreck movies where you keep watching and hoping for something. It reminds me of the stylized horror movies of the 60s where they would show images, play loud, disturbing music, and utilize overacting to disturb you. And that worked back then when shocking people was easier. This isn't even executed as well as those movies. Then the female lead has the personality of cardboard and is completely unconvincing. Storyline had potential, but lacked any kind of depth of execution because it was too busy playing screeching violins and making its characters breathe too loudly to try to instill fear. Don't do it to yourself. We sat at dinner afterwards going WTH. Not even WTF, WTH. Like, what the hell? Like, okay, so that's a 1/2 star. We got 2 star. Corny. I was told this movie was going to be frightening and exciting. I understand what they were going for, but it did not execute. My partner even fell asleep during it. We got a 1 star. Very boring movie. Very overrated. What a waste of time. We got another 1/2 star. This was a massive disappointment. I saw it the first screening on the first day. It was boring and incoherent, slow, not the least bit scary. Many people have commented that Cage is basically channeling Tiny Tim. I think this film will die a quick death once people actually see it. It was entirely hype and slick marketing with no substance at all. Okay, so these reviews tell me that um some people do like this movie, some people really hate this movie, and that could lead to weird things going on at the box office. It could lead to like a quick death. usually, like a quick decline. But so far, that doesn't seem to be happening. But yeah, that audience score tells me that this movie is very divisive, and that's usually not a great thing. So I'm gonna label that as a con. I guess another. Are there any other real cons besides its lackluster audience score? Well, I guess this is from Neon. Neon have never had like a truly big movie. They've had some like decently sized movies like Parasite back in 2019, the Oscar winner Parasite. That was a big hit for them. And I, Tonya did pretty well for them too. But besides those, it's been real slow. Just not a whole lot going on. So, yeah, their box office track record up to this point is not the greatest. So, that's a con. And besides, there's like bigger, well, there's no real direct competition. I mean, I guess there's Quiet Place Day One, but that's 2 weeks old at this point. The next horror movie that's gonna be coming out is like Trap, and that's not till I don't even know if that is a horror movie. I think that just might be just a thriller. I don't know. We won't have any horror movies until like August, I think. So this movie has time to play out. So that's a pro, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I can't think of any other serious cons besides the distributor and the audience score. So I guess we're just gonna end there. So opening weekend, I would have thought this movie would open like 5 million at best. That's what I thought. But then I look at Deadline and I see it's supposed to be opening with 20 to 23 million dollars, which is again crazy for a movie from Neon. It's literally like what's been going on with A24 earlier this year with Civil War, how that movie like blew up for A24. Same thing happening here. So yeah, 20 to 23 million at the rate it's going. That seems maybe about right. So I guess I might as well, I'm gonna go with like 20 to 25 million. Let's go with that. 20 to 25 million. It's probably gonna end on the lower end of things, but 20 million, 20 to 25 million. I mean, okay, we're going with that. With 3 day weekend, it's Legs. I don't see them being too great. I don't see Longlegs having real long legs at the box office. I don't see that happening. Considering it's the reactions. So 50 million or below is where I think I'm gonna have my final prediction. 50 million or below. And that's it for this weekend. I thought this weekend would be boring as hell, but then Longlegs, it certainly made things a lot more interesting. So that's cool. It's a nice little surprise. Yeah, this weekend is still kind of like a whatever weekend. Next week, it's also kind of a whatever weekend, but it's a little bigger because we got Twisters coming out. I don't know about Oddity. I don't know if I'm going to be covering that. I know I'm covering Twisters, but obviously the movie everyone wants to watch is Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's not till 2 weeks from now, which is annoying, but because I really want to talk about it. I have so much to discuss when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's going to have to wait. So, yeah, stay tuned for those future prediction videos. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Check out more videos like this. Got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, past few years. Want to watch any of them, go right ahead. There's also the Cancel series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't for 250 episodes. Longlegs, I never talked about it. Nope, never talked about it, not once. Okay, so you want to watch any of the past Cancel episodes I made, all 250 episodes, you want to binge them all from beginning to end, highly encourage you to do that, so go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I'm planning on doing my June recap in the afternoon, this Saturday afternoon. Plan on getting that up. Plan on making it. should happen. There's no reason for me not to, because I pushed it back long enough. I'm gonna get it done. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos of Man of the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.